So another question as part of our You Can't Ask That series is, what is the best treatment option to get off meth? And fabulous question. I don't think there's ever one answer that's correct, because I think every single person is different. So primarily the options available are really looking at either a residential facility if you feel that going away for quite a few months, away from family, away from everyone, really looking into your life in depth, being in an environment where everybody's looking at, getting their life back on track. I think that's an option. It's not always a viable option, though, for everyone. And I do think that therapeutic communities and residential rehabs do sort of, in one way, it can be quite intense, but in another way, it can also bring a false sense of security because you're kind of away and abstract from your real life, and eventually you have to come back to real life and deal with some of those issues in real time. So I do think that residential rehab is an option for those people that really don't have very good support networks around them, and that they need to break away completely. So I do think it's great for that. With the other options, day rehab, we at the Whitehaven Clinic would obviously, of course, think that's the best option because that's what we do. It's not for everyone, though, and that's why we have an intake process that actually looks at a potential client's presenting issues. It looks at what their support networks are. It looks at every aspect of their life so that we can make an informed decision whether or not it's a safe option for a client. And it's sort of a midway option, if you like. Our programs are quite intensive. So a client comes and sees us every single day, and we engage with them for about 12 to 14 weeks and in an intense sort of fashion. They don't see us every day for 12, 14 weeks, but it sort of tapers off over that period. And then you've got your other sort of options around psychologists, psychiatrists who are more about diagnosing and medicating. You then have your sort of, your counsellors as well. So generally that would be an option for somebody that is more sort of using on a recreational sort of basis, or sort of moving a little bit more into dependency. But I find counselling, and particularly psych appointments, actually, psych and psychiatric appointments are so far apart that it's not going to give you the momentum that you usually need to be able to address a more problematic issue with meth. The other side of it as well, so to me, it's never really the drug that's the issue. It's the underlying reasons and the underlying root cause of why the addictive behaviours are there. So we look at that. The other side of it is often about how do we support clients who actually need medical intervention as well. So there's also detox facilities that are available for people to go to have a medical detox. So that might take sort of around about 5 to 7 days. And generally people are prescribed medication, particularly with meth. It's about sort of bringing down and addressing the anxiety side of things. So there is no sort of magic formula for meth, unfortunately. But what it does do is, with the medical side of it and then looking at the underlying root cause, typically those two things together work really, really well.